Okay, this is the third short video. This is a discussion of fake student Randy Purdue, who may or may not be Rowdy's brother, somewhat more academically gifted brother, clearly. He comes in with a lot of prior credit. It goes way beyond first year. So I'm going to talk for a few minutes about the credit he's already got and why it's been distributed the way it has been. Okay, so start at the top. Had transfer credit for Math 165, transfer credit for Chem 115. Took or is taking in the spring of 13 English 106. You notice that instead of taking the standard 131, 132 sequence, he did the honors, first year honors stuff. That's now engineering 195, 3-credit class, followed by another 395, 195 in the spring, another 3-credit class. And the agreement on that in first year engineering is that replaces 131, 132 and the CS 159 requirement. But that's missing a credit, so I filled that missing credit in over there in the 131 box. Now, you don't have to worry about all that. I take care of that. Randy is ahead in math. He's taking honors Calc 2, Math 181, and honors Calc 3, Math 182, both 5-credit courses. So you notice in those cases what is entered in the My Course box or field in the cell is not the label. It's not Math 166 and Math 261, but it is equivalent to them. And that's true of a lot of these courses. There are equivalents in most things other than arrow classes. Okay, so the other thing about Randy is that he has a bunch of Gen Ed credit already in hand, Econ 251, and credit for 2 French levels of French. So let's see how that got used. The other thing, he had credit for Chem 116 and is taking Chem 255, which I think is biochem, I'm not sure. At any rate, those are tech electives. So his tech electives will be done at the end of the spring semester. Okay. Now, what has been done with these Gen Ed credits he's got? Well, Econ in French or any other foreign language fills the bill for the society rule. If you click on society, it lists subjects that can be used for that purpose, and those subjects include economics and foreign languages, in this case French. The breadth rule says that you have to have at least 2 courses in one subject. It doesn't specify anything other than that, at least 6 credits in one subject. So obviously French 101 and 102 are the same subject area, and that accounts for the 6 credits. Now you notice you can't put 1 course in the breadth column. You got to have 2 courses in the breadth column. Now there's a second part of this rule which I couldn't capture easily, and that is you can't have more than 12 credits in one subject applying to the Gen Eds. Most people aren't at risk of getting in trouble with that. The foreign languages rule, obviously French is a foreign language. What it says is, number 1, you do not have to take a foreign language. There's no foreign language requirement. But if you do take one, you've got to go through at least the 102 level. So that's why there are two boxes here. Now the way Purdue is set up, if you take 102 and not 101 because of some placement, then they'll give you 101 after you've completed 102. So basically the rule is 102. We'll fill both boxes. In the depth column, the depth rule says at least 6 of the credits, gen ed credits, must be at the 300 level or higher, or have prerequisites in the same department. Now, clearly 102 has 101 as a prerequisite, so that works. It's not 300 level, but it does have a prerequisite. So Randy's in good shape with respect to the gen ed rules. He's got 3 gen eds left, and any one of them can be used to fill the depth 2 rule. Also, econ, which he took in the fall of 12, fills the business rule, so that's taken care of. So the only rule that he hasn't met in the other rules category is the writing speaking rule. Let's review what that says. Must take at least 3 credits of work focused on written and or spoken communication at the 300 or higher level. So English 421, technical writing, would work just fine for that purpose. Put that in here. It's a 300 level course, so it would also fill depth 2. And it is a gen ed, so it would fill one of the gen ed boxes. So that's an option for Randy to do in the fall of 13. Now, let's fill in some options. First of all, notice that tech electives are done. That doesn't mean he can't take more, but if he takes more tech elective stuff, it's going to go up top into extra courses. He's already got a couple, Chem 255 in particular. So if he takes any more Chem, it'll go up here. Ideally, every course that's taken that doesn't find a home in this matrix goes up here. Okay, so with the strategy of filling things in from the top, that would include the next, the empty cells in row 3, as much of row 4 as makes sense, and the only part of row 4 that doesn't make sense at the moment is 204, because if you click on that, you'll see, not surprisingly, that 204 has 203 as a prereq. Yeah, there it is. So you could fill in everything in row 3 and row 4 out to physics 241, and that would give you 9, and 9 is 18 credits, which is maybe a little much because it's all technical. Now, this is a good student, so he may feel up to it, but he may also have other ambitions. He may want to take more chemistry for whatever reason, which is fine, but you can't put it in the matrix. So if he wanted to do that, then when he submits his plan, he should say in his comment that in addition to the courses shown, I want to take chem whatever. So anything that you want to take that isn't specifically listed in your plan, you should make a comment on so that I have an idea of what your load is. So I'm going to fill in some things here. And I'll just go with the default. Even though there are options, and as a ambitious student, he may want to exercise some of those options, like Math 351. But let's just go with the plain vanilla. Okay. Now, the system is slow enough that I'm going to cut to the chase. So let's assume that we filled in 251 and 203 and 200. And shut up the dog. And 266. I'm going to, well, I'll put in 266. So imagine that the rest of the row 3 is entered. And that brings to 12 credits. Now we come to ME200. That's Thermo. Thermo isn't actually used in the Aero program. It's not required until you get down to row 6, down here, propulsion and aerodynamics. So I'm going to skip over MA200 for now. It's a little early to take it. It's not really essential. So let's move ahead to Physics 241. It also doesn't make too much difference when you take that. It's also available in the summer. But let's put it into the fall. Now that would be 9 credits here and 6 credits there is 9 and 6 is 15. So the question is, do you want to do more than that? Well, let's say yes. And let's say you want to get this out of the way, the writing and speaking rule, so you don't have to think about it anymore. And let's just go with the most commonly taken one, English 421, 00. And all we have to do is remember that it is a gen ed. And so it needs to go in one of the gen ed boxes. And it is an upper level gen ed, so it needs to fill that one remaining depth requirement. There you go. So that's 18 credits. If he wanted to take more than 18 credits, he would need to get an override, because the system is set up to, the MyProduce system is set up to prevent students from registering for more than 18 without permission. Now, I'll always give permission, but I got to do it in writing. So if you want to take more than 18, you go into your comment when you submit and say, I need an override for 19 or 23 or whatever it is that you want. And I will say, okay, I may argue against it, but I'll eventually say, okay. And at that point, you have to contact Lisa Crane because she's the one who actually puts the overrides into my Purdue. And she'll look in your final study to see that I've approved it. Okay, so again, assuming that, imagine that I've already filled in the 251, 203, and 200 boxes, then this is a plan for 18 credits in the fall of 2013, and he's ready to go ahead and submit for approval. Okay. That's it.